Hey, I'm Hayley.
I'm Jake.
And welcome to our van tour.
Let's go check it out.
We're two adventurous engineers who decided to take on the challenge of designing and building our dream camper van from scratch.
It took us 2 years to complete, and now we're living our dream of traveling full-time in a completely off-grid home on wheels.
Today, we're opening our doors to show off our cozy home and all the unique features that make it one of a kind. Jake and I love to travel. When we were designing our van, we knew we wanted it to be suitable for full-time travel for both ourselves and our dog. We also wanted it to be fully self-contained and comfortable in all seasons.
Our van is a Ram Promaster 159 Extended. It's a high roof so we can still stand inside, and the 159 Extended means it's 20 feet long so it still fits in one parking spot. We have a sliding door on the passenger side, 2 doors on the front, and 2 doors in the back. Other things we like about our van is that it's a cab over, which means you get more interior space for the total vehicle length. You sit quite high when you drive, so you have really good visibility in the cab. And then we have a backup camera, which combined with our side mirrors gives you really good visibility all around the van when you're driving and backing up.
We can enter the van either through the driver and passenger doors up front or our sliding door. And then once we're in the van, there are 3 general areas to our build. Up front, we have our seating area. In the center, we have our kitchen area, and then at the back, we have our bedroom with our fixed bed. We designed our van so that we would be comfortable traveling for long periods of time. We have lots of storage for everything we need, and it's generally easy to get to. When designing the van, we wanted to keep the space open and bright, so we chose lots of warm, natural colors. We went for pine tongue and groove on the ceiling. We have butcher block countertops, and we chose shades of white for the walls and the cabinets. We also have lots of windows for natural light.
Since we designed our van to be in all 4 seasons, there's a few features that we added to make it more comfortable. The first is that we had it professionally spray foam insulated. This keeps it cool in the summer and hot in the winter, which is what we want. So to keep us warm in cold climates, we have our S-Bar B4 heater. It's a gasoline heater that picks up off the Promaster's gas tank, so we don't need a secondary fuel source. It has automatic altitude adjustment, so we don't have to adjust the fuel mixture when we're up at 7,000 or 8,000 feet. And it's located centrally in the van, so we get good airflow all around, and the controller is mounted right beside the bed, so if we decide we're cold in the middle of the night, we can turn on the heater without moving. So to stay cool in hot climates, we use a couple different things to keep it nice and cool in here. The first way we stay cool in here is our Max Air fan. It is a 10-speed thermostatically controlled fan, which means we can set the temperature and it will vary the speed to try to match it. It has a rain guard, so we can use it even when it's raining, and it can be used as an intake fan or an exhaust fan depending on our needs. After our fan, we use our windows to stay cool. We have a window in the sliding door which has a T-vent on it, which means we can open it even when it's raining, and we have 2 bunk windows in the back above the bed, so when we open the ones in the back, we can get a good cross breeze when we're sleeping. By varying how the windows are open with our fan, which we put in the center of the van, we can get a good cross breeze and keep it nice and cool in here. On our really hot days, we can use a fan built into our S-Bar heater to help keep the van cool by circulating the air and kind of supplement what we get from our windows and our fan. And the last thing that helps our van stay cool is we have a deck and solar panels on the roof, which provides shade from the sun. And if we want to sit with our sliding door open and the sun's there, we can set up our moonshade to keep it nice and cool in here.
To maximize storage in the van, we built our cabinets into our entranceway. At the bottom, we have a slide-out drawer with a lid that acts as a table outside, and the lid can be removed, and inside we store outdoor items such as extra pegs for our moonshade or Finnley's lanyard. We like sitting with the sliding door open, so we added bug screens to make sure that bugs don't get into the van. We bought them off Amazon and then we modified them to fit our sliding door area. They have 3 panels, and the panels line up with the entranceway here. They're attached with Velcro at the top and magnets at the bottom. In the entranceway is where we keep Finnley's water bowl. We bought this one specifically for the van because it has a spill-proof lid. It's been great, so no water will spill when we drive. Up top we have our carbon monoxide alarm, down here we have our propane alarm, and here we have our light switches. We wanted to have a lot of light inside of the van, so we installed 2 rows of LED puck lights in the ceiling. We have 2 circuits, the front half and the back half, and they're on 3-way switches. One set of switches is by the entranceway by our sliding door, so we can turn the lights on as we enter the van. And the second set of switches is by the bed here, so we can control them from bed. The back circuit is also on a dimmer, so when we're lying in bed, we can turn the lights down and not blind ourselves. When we first bought the van, it came with 3 seats up front. We switched this out for 2 seats so that we could easily move from the front to the back of the van. Our van came with this bulkhead up here. We store light things like our towels and our jackets. We added this curtain rail here so that we could slide our blackout curtains across and no one can see into the van when we leave it. We installed commercial grade laminate flooring. It hides dirt well, it's really easy to clean, and it holds up great to traffic.
For the main seating area in our van, we have this couch and table. We really like having a couch here because it gives us great views out the sliding door, and we built this so that Finnley would have a good spot to sleep so he wouldn't be in the bed with us. This couch is the same size as a normal patio love seat, so cushions are easy to come by, and we have this waterproof dog blanket for Finnley, which protects our cushions and keeps everything nice and clean. For our table, we use a Lagoon style table mount. It's super easy to store and set up, so we just store this bottom leg up in the headliner and we store our table under our bed. Our table is made out of butcher block, as the same as our counters, and it swivels around to be very easy to maneuver and adjust. It's large enough for both Hayley and I to work on our laptops or have dinner, or play games depending on how we're feeling, and it is very easy to move around and a very nice addition to the van. Another good feature of our couch is that it gives us a lot of extra storage. In here we keep our hiking boots and some extra shoes, our laundry and Finnley's dog food, and we also keep our toilet. So our toilet in this van is a Thetford cassette toilet. It's 17 inches tall and the same height as a standard household toilet, and it also has an electric flush. It's very convenient to get out of the door, so it's easy to change. So again, at this storage, the lid to the couch hinges up and it's held open with gas shocks, so it's very easy to get to anything under here or to use the toilet when we need to, and it's just a really convenient storage spot inside the van.
In the center of the van, we have our kitchen area. The main features are our oven, our sink, our fridge, and our custom cabinetry. We have a 17-inch Furion propane oven with a 3-burner cooktop. Since we're traveling long term, we do most of our cooking inside the van, and we wanted to have the option of using an oven. It has a glass cover here that folds up, and we place the oven by the sliding door here with no cabinets over the top so that there is a lot of space above the oven. And when we're using the oven, we can open up the sliding door window, turn on our fan, and we get a lot of ventilation over our oven. Under the oven, we have a deep drawer with lots of storage space. This is where we keep all of our pots and our pans and our fire extinguisher. So for our sink, we have a 16-inch quartz sink. It's under mount, and the tap here is a black tap that extends and has 2 different spray functions. Our water pump button is up here, so we can turn this on and off whenever we need to use our 12-volt pump to get water into the sink. Under the sink, we have our pull-out garbage and recycling and space for our cleaning supplies. And then in the center, we have 3 drawers. We've got 1 for cutlery and 2 for food storage. And since we built our cabinets ourselves, we added a couple little extra features. So we have a tip-out drawer here under the sink, and we have toe kick drawers to store small things like things for Finnley. For our backsplash, we have a peel and stick vinyl wallpaper. It's very easy to clean. For the countertops, we went with a birch butcher block. It resists warping. It's a hardwood, so it's less likely to get dented. It's generally easy to maintain. We placed our oven and our sink on either end so that we could have a workstation in the middle. So if we are cooking on the oven, we have a spot here to put the food, And if we're doing the dishes, we have a spot to put the dishes while they're drying. We also wanted to give ourselves a little bit extra space, so we kept the cutout for the sink here, and we can drop that in on top of the sink and it gives us a little bit more counter space. Over on this side of the van is where we have our fridge. It's a 120 volt bar fridge. It's got a separate freezer compartment and there is lots of space in here to store all of our food. When we're driving, we keep the fridge door closed by using a baby latch. Behind this panel here is where we have all of our electrical gauges. So we've got buttons here to monitor our water tank levels. We have a button to turn on the heat pad to our grey tank, which is undermounted. We have our inverter on-off switch, and we have 2 buttons for our recirculating shower system. A few other additions to the kitchen are we have outlets on both sides, and since we custom built our kitchen cabinets, we made them 1 inch shallower than standard household cabinets. That way we had a couple extra inches in the aisleway so both Jake and I can easily move around in the space. For extra storage, we have upper cabinets. They're on both sides of the van. The cabinets on the passenger side run all the way to the back, and the cabinets on the driver's side stop by the bed. For each upper cabinet, we have a gas shock that holds the door open while we're using it. There's a trim piece at the bottom to stop things sliding forward, causing the doors to pop open. And we installed a shelf to help us organize our things inside. On the ends of both of the upper cabinets, we have bookshelves. We built these using the leftover wood from our rooftop deck. Above the sliding door, we also built a bookshelf, and that finishes off the area really nicely around the sliding door. And lastly, above the couch area, we have our hat hangers where we can store our sun hats.
One of the things we really like about our van is our bed. Because we built this for long-term travel, we have a fixed raised bed in the van. It gives us a lot of extra storage, and it also means we don't have to make the bed every day. We built our bed to a height just tall enough that we can sit up in bed. Our mattress is a 6-inch memory foam mattress that is very comfortable. It is a short queen, which means it's the width of a queen and the length of a double. And then we also built extra bump outs at the head and foot of the bed to give it more space. Another thing we really like about our bed is it hinges up in the front and back direction. And what this allows us to do is convert it into a couch. So we have extra seating by being able to hinge the bed into a couch in the front of the van, or when we're parked in a really cool spot, open up the back doors, hinge the bed up, and have some awesome views. And this also allows us to get more storage in the van, so we have storage down here, our table here, and plumbing. At the head and foot of the bed, we have windows, which is really good for airflow, and we have window covers that we can use in the day to keep the sun out, or at night to keep the light from leaking out of the van, or light from outside the van getting in, depending on where we're camping. For clothes storage, we have large drawers under the bed and 2 overhead cabinets above the bed. This is plenty of storage for all the clothes Hayley and I need for all 4 seasons of travel. In the back of the van is where we keep the things we really need to have on the road but don't want to use every day. So we have totes for repairing the van and repairing our build, and just a tote for if we wanted to hang out at the beach. We have a privacy curtain which helps hide some of the things we have in the back. And then on the left we have our plumbing, and on the right we have our electrical system. By lifting up the bed, we have access to more parts of the back. On the left we have our hoses and filters for our water fill system, and on the right we have our fuses, disconnects, and breakers to keep our electrical system safe. Our electrical system is protected by a sliding door which has vent holes to keep the system cool but keep it protected from the stuff we have in storage. For our electrical system itself, we have 400 watts of solar on the roof, 200 amp hours of lithium batteries. We have a 3 kilowatt inverter charger, which gives us both great power in the van and the ability to plug into shore power if we need to.
On this side of the garage is where we have our plumbing system. We have a 100-liter freshwater tank. We can fill it using this port here. From the freshwater tank, it runs through a 12-volt water pump, an accumulator, and then it goes to the sink. Underneath the sink is where we have our undermounted grey tank. It's 54 liters and it has a heat pad for when we're in cold climates. Back here we also have our hot water heater and our recirculating shower filters. Since we wanted to keep the van open and spacious inside, we didn't want to build a fixed shower enclosure inside the van, so we had to get a little bit creative. So we have this shower bag that we can set up either inside the van or by the back doors here. On the shower bag, it has a drain line that connects into our filter system. So the dirty shower water will get picked up, go through our filters, be reheated, and it will come out the top back into the shower.
On the roof of the van, we have a custom-made Unistrut deck. It holds our solar panels and our cedar decking. It's great to be able to hang out there, and also it's a bit of extra storage for things on the roof of the van. To get up there, we have our telescoping ladder. We wanted to use that because we wanted to keep our van a little more low profile. I didn't want to have a ladder on the outside. And on the deck as well, we have our mounting points for our moonshade awning.
That's it for the tour. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in how we built our van, we have a van build series on YouTube, so we'll link it in the description below.
We're currently driving from Vancouver, Canada to the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. If you'd like to follow along, subscribe, and we'll see you there.
Bye!
Bye!